G'day guys, PeetyG's Servers checking in here for PGTV once again, and welcome to episode 2 of my top 5 in 5. Well, today I will break down the top 5 players in the OCE region 5 to 1. Okay, first of all, my criteria. I'm talking about overall game impact. There could be better aimers, there could be better fraggers, there could be better this or that. I'm talking about the top 5 players who have overall game impact. So here we go. Number 5, Liaz. Now, this guy, he plays for Kings Gaming Club, previously Tainted Minds, previously Atletico. One of the star players of the region. His impact cannot be questioned. And the only reason he's not higher is because of his role. He's a rifler for Kings at the moment. He shares that sort of star role with Hats. And I think he could be even better in another situation. But that being said, he's performing excellently for Kings. And he's always a tough matchup for any opposition side. Number 4. Urcast, the current in-game leader for the Greyhound Gaming crew. They have had some excellent results, but Urcast's impact on teams cannot be denied from his sub-role in many teams, including Atletico. But most importantly, his transformation from just that support player into a true leader in that immunity side, where they had great success post his Atletico stint where he was a fill-in. He's really come into his own, and in Greyhounds, he's made a name for himself. So he gets my number 4 spot. Number 3, there'll be a bit of contention here, but I think we can all agree that this player, aka Mark Destiny Kagan, is the third most impactful player in Australia. He's not higher on this list purely because he is currently not able to travel. So he isn't permanently in a top side. However, one of the most sought after mercenaries going around in the history of Australian Counter-Strike, from over a decade of experience. This guy just continues to put it on and on. And look, if you could have him in your roster, most teams would, because he's simply that good. So number 3 is Destiny. Number 2, Tux from Chiefs. So for the same reasons that I discussed earlier in the piece, Tux is overall game impact, whether you want to talk about a support rifler, knowing every grenade in the game, also being the in-game leader, also having the ability to go onto that AWP that he's so willingly given up to accommodate Ali in the Chiefs roster. And don't get me wrong, Ali's done a fantastic job on the AWP. However, you know, we all know what Tux is capable of at his best with that weapon. So just his all-around versatility and utility means that in the landscape, if you were making your dream team, Tux may not necessarily be your IGL, but he may in fact be your AWPer or one of the support riflers. Simply one of the most well-rounded players in the country, and he continues to work diligently on his game. And you know, the sky's the limit for that guy. Of course, unfortunately, does have that VAC ban attached to him from a foolish era of his gaming career. However, you know, that we can take nothing away from this dude, and he's proved it on an international level that he can make plays. So that brings me to the current number 1 player in the region, in my opinion, at the moment. And this may shock a lot of people because there are so many good players left on the board. Who might PeetyG think that the most impactful player in the whole country is at the moment? We're talking about Chris Rollins. Imagine who plays for Kings Gaming Club as well with Liaz. Simply put, this is the reason I believe that Kings are on the up and up. They have 2 of the top 5 players in terms of overall game impact in the country. But let's focus on Emag for just a second and exactly why I think that he's risen the ranks. Emag's a winner. Emag has always been a winner. He won in Source. He won as soon as he came back to CSGO. I think it was about late 2014, early 2015, somewhere around that region. Maybe early 2014. I'm not exactly sure because he spent a while really working on his game and being in some pretty average teams. Although those teams ended up doing really well because of him. You know, then I think in the Winterfox experience, he's the only player in that Winterfox roster that came back with any significant and noticeable increase in his in-game performances. So his actual mechanics seem to have improved. His reading of the game seems to improve. His knowledge of the game seems to have improved. And that's nothing short of what I expect from someone as dedicated and as talented as Emag has been for as long as he has. He flies under the radar a lot, and people tend to skim over those immunity days when Emag was taking down the likes of Cloud9 at the Crown Invitational and, you know, pushing the envelope there. But, you know, in recent form, he fell out of that immunity side. He fell overseas into Winterfox. They didn't do too well. He's come back and he's really put his stamp on the scene, being the IGL for Kings. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is PeetyG's top 5 and 5 Oceanic players. If you agree, put it down. I'm sure a lot of you disagree, and there's good reasons to disagree because there are so many talented players in the region right now. But those are my top 5, and I've given my reasons. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week for another undisclosed episode. Don't know what that's going to be yet, but I'm keen to take ideas down. So if you want to see a top 5 and 5, put it down, and I'll give it a crack. See you next week.